called for termination of the United States Supreme, the supreme land of our nation, the United States Constitution.
I was going to
As we all know, Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. People who are normally reasonable and intelligent totally lose their minds whenever the subject of Donald Trump comes up. So much so that they will believe the biggest debunked lies about Donald Trump that the mainstream media has been pushing for years. Case in point, of course, Joe Biden at the DNC, pushing the very fine people on both sides lie, right? Totally debunked even by left-leaning Snopes. But of course, what we want to do is look at the biggest cases of TDS so we can all laugh at it together. Let's get into it.
So, who else has lost their family to Trump? I had this horrible conversation with my dad. My sister-in-law, they're still, after all this, they're still Trump supporters. And it's like, how can I respect you? How can I respect you if you are still a Trump supporter when you have a daughter and a great-granddaughter? Off, right? I share with my dad, but yeah, he's a Trump supporter. How has Trump stolen my family from me? I don't think I can talk to my dad or my sister-in-law, and my brother ever again because they believe in this gross human. He's so gross. I mean, he's long before he got into politics. He's just been a gross human. It's well documented. It's decades. Open your eyes. It's like we've known this all our whole lives. Anybody who's smart knows that Donald Trump is like the grossest human on the planet. And you're going to choose him over your child?
Okay, this would be tragic if it wasn't so hilarious. This poor woman is claiming that Donald Trump has taken her family from her. No, you are choosing to distance yourself from your family because you can't get over the political differences. I bet your family still loves you and would invite you into their home, but you are choosing not to associate with them because you think that Donald Trump is the worst person in the world. This is stage 4 TDS, okay? And of course, what is the charge she's leveling at Donald Trump? He's gross. He is the grossest person in the world, right? Hasn't everyone known that forever? No, because up until about 8 years ago, Donald Trump was beloved. Everyone wanted to be around that guy. Everybody emulated that guy, but you just don't realize it. So yes, here's some rando on TikTok, of course, just lamenting the fact that she can't come to terms with disagreeing with someone over politics, particularly her father, okay? But it's even worse when you see this in people who are supposedly our media heads, right? The ones delivering us truthful information on news shows.
You know what? I thought about this yesterday and I was like, you know what? I need to post this on these socials. So, you know, all the people who keep saying they want to vote for Trump because of the stimmy, you do realize that in order to qualify for the CARES Act stimmy, you had to be broke. Essentially, it was for low income people. So what you're essentially saying and admitting is that you were broke under Trump. That's the only way you could have qualified for the stimmy. So you're just saying and admitting that your ass was broke during the Trump administration. You are actually making my point. And of course, the stimmy only existed because he let 1 million people die by lying about the pandemic and not telling us that that thing was airborne. So that is the only reason there had to be a stimmy in the first place. So now you're doubly making my point. Just something to think about. Just a thing to think about. Your ass was broke during Trump. Thanks for making my point. And have a good day.
So that, of course, is Joy Reid putting her TDS on display, because it's been coming out recently that a lot of black voters actually want to vote for Donald Trump because they remember his name on the stimulus checks that they were receiving during the COVID lockdowns, okay? But Joy Reid, oh, she ain't having it. Oh, you were broke. It's your fault you were broke. And then when the economy shut down and Trump gave you money because the economy was shut down, you were still broke. So here she is saying that you only got those checks because you were poor. So she's actually making fun of poor people because they were happy receiving money from Donald Trump. And now that the pandemic is over, guess what? They're still poor, and they're not happy about that in the Biden economy because everything costs so much. So we can clearly see that Joy Reid is living in that liberal bubble where she's not out there buying her own products, going to the stores on her own, or interacting with anyone with an opposing viewpoint. Her TDS is in full effect. Someone get her to a hospital. Now, of course, one of the big news items of the day is the joint partnership now between RFK and Donald Trump. And what we're going to see now is Nicole Shanahan actually just put out this viral commercial for this very subject, for TDS. Let's check this out because it's also hilarious.
Are you or your loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump Derangement Syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers no policy or vision for America simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS. Introducing independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again. Instead of believing everything you hear from the mainstream media, independence allows for constructive critical thinking.
I used to hear people on the news say things like,
Donald Trump and the movement he has encouraged are a threat to democracy.
and I instantly believed it. With independence, I now realize the media is run by the Democrat elite, who are a corrupt oligarchy that censors free speech, silences political opponents, supports forever wars, and abandons democracy by anointing its candidates.
Independence may not be for everyone. If you enjoy being lied to about your president's cognitive abilities, support Orwellian totalitarianism, or are excited about communist fiscal policy, independence may not be right for you. Common side effects of independence may include an awakening of rational thought, successfully identifying propaganda, freedom of choice, loss of hatred, anti-narcissistic behavior, and love of democracy.
I used to blindly hate whoever my party was running against. I didn't care about facts or policy because I was hopelessly indoctrinated. With independence, I'm much more interested in policies that uphold democracy, and I truly care about the health of our country and its citizens.
Ask your doctor if independence is right for you, and enjoy your freedoms once again.
Now, I know this seems kind of petty and inconsequential, but don't overlook the value of a viral ad campaign. These things can be highly influential. I mean, why do you think memes are so popular? And this is basically just a meme in short video form. So this is great to see, highly entertaining and educational, and really exposing the left for what they truly are. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.